my dogs are going to be barking throughout this whole thing. So sorry, buddy. I
I
started
wonder
talking
if.
to like.
Well, welcome everybody to the Impact Stage, our first community stage event, where we're going to be talking all things shotgun. Nathan taking your questions and answering them, which is going to be really fun. And J-Man, he was jumping in earlier. Hi.
Sorry. We were in the members only hangout, just like as like our green room. Like, all right, what are we gonna? How are we gonna do this? Everything, and J-Man jumps in. We're like, sorry, buddy.
Yes, and we need to invite. What is his name? Feisty Man? Feisty Man?
Risky feller. Invite to speak.
Yeah, go ahead and pull. I don't even think he's in here yet, so I think we need to
There he is.
send him a direct invite. Okay.
I'm here, I think. Yeah, look at that.
All right.
Nathan, welcome to our stage.
Yep, I'm looking through the audience and I already see someone with an ODST in their profile picture, and they're officially the coolest person so far. So I'm a huge fan of the ODSTs. No disrespect to the Spartans out there, but I've always been an ODST guy myself.
You know, one thing I noticed was your helmet. I just posted a video in our member exclusive content of a tour of Brad's garage. And I was going around looking at stuff. And then I get to the end and there's this helmet sitting on a table. And I was like, I have no idea what that is. I've never seen that before.
Oh, you mean the
Turns
helmet
out it's
I
yours.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry we didn't showcase that in the main video. That was really awesome when you just pulled it out and put it on.
Oh, it broke. I tried pulling it down.
Dude, look at his. Oh, you just broke
Mine doesn't
it.
work so well.
Yeah, I was trying to pull the mandible down because they get tighter and it snapped. Oh, pardon my language, but yeah, it just broke. All right, sweet.
But yeah, this is a family-friendly environment, Nathan. Apologize.
I'm sorry.
Did that just break?
Dude, show
Yeah,
me again. Hold on. R.I.P. to
what's
the
up?
ODST helmet.
I guess that's what happens when you put it in a bag.
A whole new, oh man, it snapped.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
Well, look, if I hold it together, you can't even see it. Nothing a little hot glue can't fix.
F in
Oh
the
my
chat
God.
for the ODST helmet. Oh man.
See, it would have
That's
held
crazy.
up if it was a Spartan helmet. I understand this. This is why ODSTs don't get the good gear or the
That's what I'm
child
saying.
defense. You know.
Yeah, they get all the leftover.
Yeah.
So
Well-
Nathan, let's talk about this old shotgun of yours, buddy, old pal.
Yeah.
I think hopefully everybody has seen the main video of us, running around shooting it, testing it out. I think the goal of today is to give a little bit more of an in-depth of a backstory on who you are and what you do and why you started doing this. So let's just start there, huh?
Yep. So
Tell us about yourself.
the beginning of this project starts with a brief moment when I was in basic training, where I had a buddy who basically told me that I couldn't do it. And then 5 years later, I got out of the military, went to gunsmithing school, and started working on this in the beginning of my education and worked on it throughout the entire time I was on the course. I learned a lot. So basically, this gun is an example of my progression of education because I didn't do all of it at one go. Like, in the beginning of my school, I worked on soldering and welding. So there's some soldering and welding in the front end. I learned how to do Cerakote. I learned how to do Cerakote on this, and I did Cerakote on this. I learned how to do some work on the lathe, and then I did some lathe work on it. And then it just kept building and building to where I finally was in the last part of my education. And they were like, what are you going to turn in for your specs project, your special project? And I turned in this, and I got the highest grade out of my class. I honor graded among my peers, and
Nice.
and then the rest is history. So yeah.
So was your teacher a Halo fan?
So my teacher was a nearly 85-year-old guy who had never heard of Halo in any serious sense. But the younger instructors that I more closely bonded to, who were more influential, they did have some awareness of Halo, so they were able to understand my concept and the desire. And yeah, I still talk to him, and he's really cool. Jeff Evans at Colorado School of Trades is like probably the strongest influence while I was at CST for this actually getting done, with Lee Evans as well being my basics instructor. So he basically helped me start it, and then Jeff Evans helped me finish it. So Lee helped me start it, Jeff helped me finish it, and yeah, so there we are.
That just shows that Halo is timeless. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can be an 85-year-old gun professor, and it's the something about the Halo 2 especially aesthetic is going to speak to your heart. But tell us about you, Nathan. Tell us about where you're from. Like, growing up, you said you were in basic training, so there's obviously some military experience in there. Yep. Who is Nathan Frisque, Mr. Frisky Boy?
I joined the military out of high school at 17. And went to the Airborne. I served at the 82nd as a saw gunner, then grenadier, and then I went to recon. So I did long range stuff for a little while. I was in the scout platoon for my HHC, and I never became an official sniper, but I operated the M110 sniper system, the XM2010 sniper system, as well as the M107 Barrett. And then we got back from deployment, and I was really kind of unimpressed with that job, so I became the armorer. So for the last year and a half that I was in the military, I took control of our entire battalion's arms room, and then kicked a whole bunch of butt in that way, and decided that guns were my passion, and I should have followed it to begin with, and went to school. So the Army, I only did one contract, but I'm glad that I did. I learned a lot from it, and nothing negative to say about that.
That resume is so full and intimidating. You scared Brad right out of the building.
Well, I want to
gone.
Oh boy!
Excuse me.
Jesus. Got the rocket shotgun. We got the full Halo loadout. Yeah, we kind of do. Like, honestly, Halo's becoming real, one step at a time. Who knows?
Yeah, man. I want the suit next.
Sorry, I had to go yell at my dogs.
Yeah, it happened. That's actually a good question for you guys both, Ryan and Brad. Like, what would you say, like, if you could take one thing out of Halo and just like pull it out and then have it be perfect, what would it be?
Bradley. I know. Actually, I know. I want the spaceships because I want space travel. So that's what I want.
You
want perfect spaceship technology.
The infinite?
Yeah.
No. That's
I want to break time and space. That's my wish. Holy shoot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think either the energy sword or the gravity hammer, I think, would just be so cool. Yeah.
We have a question. We have a question from Summit as well.
What's up, Summit?
Summit asked a question. I want to ask is what shells can it fire, like birdshot or buckshot, or only one type? So this gun is based off of the 870. So if I was to turn it over like this and hold it like that, well, this direction, you would see that it is basically just a normal 870 Magnum Express. So it can chamber 2 3/4 inch, as well as it can actually chamber and fire the 3-inch, but won't extract them once they expand. Pretty much every load is good for it because I didn't modify the barrel or receiver in any way to compromise the integrity of the safety of the firearm. So the trigger got messed with, the pump arm got messed with, the barrel got an attachment added to the front of it, but overall it still can do everything that a normal shotgun can.
Gotcha. So I guess while we're on that topic, do you want to just like start from tip or back and just kind of go through what you did to make this thing special?
Sure. So the first thing that like made this special from the tip is this is a poly choke. So I knew that the Halo shotgun needed a muzzle device that kind of had a different appearance. So I pulled this off of a 1947 shotgun that had this banded to it, and then I fixed it to the barrel, which I cut down to 18 inches. Then the heat shield is actually a combination of a Slade Street Industries and ATI handguard that I've like modified to work together and then painted a little bit. The barrel was a ribbed barrel, so if you look right there, you can see the beginning of the rib off the barrel that I machined onto. that allows the steel forend runner to go down here with screws. And there are actually screws all the way through it in different locations to allow the pump arm to actually slide on it instead of the barrel. I wanted to do the barrel initially, but the barrel wouldn't work because of the contour of it. It gets thicker and then goes thinner. Moving more to the rear, I had to re-weld the arms so they actually timed properly. The action itself wasn't really modified a whole lot besides generally making it better, actual gunsmithing, improving the trigger, improving the action, making it smoother, making it work better. Then obviously there's the aluminum block, which has the trigger mechanism that I had to custom fabricate, AR-15 grip compatibility, and AR-15 stock compatibility. And then that's kind of the whole thing. So without overdoing it,
nice.
that's it.
Nice. Well, it was so much fun to shoot it and hold it in my little fan hands. It was just like so cool to see
with our little non-Spartan trigger fingers.
Right.
Yeah, I think people asking some questions about that. So
sure. Yeah. Hit it.
How did you choose what weapon to make? That's your example question. Sorry, Ryan.
Well, that's go for it. No, answer it.
I chose it because it was the most mechanically alien to the current market. There are no top-fed shotguns available. The concept has always been alluring to me from a speed shooter competitive side, as well as Halo is the only one that has it in media. So as a gunsmith, it was the most alluring because it actually did something different. It wasn't just, a clone of something or an AR-15 with gizmos glued to it. Like, it was actually something different. It was actually something special in the way that it functioned. Something about it was intriguing. Let's see. How did you choose? That's yours. What was probably the hardest part of building the gun? You guys got to experience the hardest part of the gun, which is the trigger pull. And then that leads into someone asked, how come the trigger is 25 pounds? Because of the linkage that runs the trigger. So without getting all up in here and getting grease all over my fingers, you'll see this hump right here is the beginning of the mainspring, which a little arm pulls back on, which is attached to a bar that goes straight down. And that bar goes straight down next to this runner. And the trigger is attached to the runner in the rear. So basically, this pushes rearward, which causes the block to shove upwards, which is angled like this, that pushes the bar back. So basically, the trigger on top has to rotate rearward to be pulled. If it was a normal gun, it'd be bang, and it rotates rearward. So I have to turn of pressure.
Well, we can ask the questions for sure, but that's a great question. I think it's just fascinating. So I have a question for you.
Okay. There's also some questions that you guys can answer. Like one will it kill coveys? And I think you guys know the answer to that.
Well, it'll shoot steel targets.
If we can shoot, if we can hit them, if we can actually hit them,
yeah. So what would you so at the end of this, I don't know if we really even talked about this in the video, but where was this gun at the end of it, right? There were some things that had to be fixed with the gun. Are those things fixed? Do you plan on fixing them? What's next for the shotgun?
Well, I'll run the action, and it works. I think, honestly, it's not a longevitous firearm. Like, it's going to just slowly deteriorate because of the Remington steels and aluminums being lesser than that which I've mounted it to. So this gun is probably going to stay in the condition it is because it works really well as an example of what can be done. But the things that broke are repaired. The things that were genuinely problems have been either ignored or resolved.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yeah.
I did that out when we were with each other, and we got to make some new friends that had tools.
And it worked. That's right.
So Nathan,
hey, there is.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Ryan. You got it.
Well, there was one question on here about did you attempt to make it sound like a different one? And I'm assuming that was not the exercise, so probably the answer is no there. But I am curious, like what creates the sound of a shotgun? Like why does a spaz sound the way it does, and why does this sound the way it does?
So I talked with Brad a little bit about this. So to give him some volume here, if you want to take that away, because you're going to say the same things I am in terms of sound for it.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to be nice. All right, but
no, you're good, man. We're here. This is your show, buddy. We're here to interrogate you. I'm not getting interrogated today.
I'm not used to it. It's your Discord. I gotta respect the host, you know. So but as for the sound,
it's all good.
As for the sound, the Halo shotgun is based off of the Spaz 12 in semi-auto, and then being added with a pump sound between it. I own a Spaz 12, and the sound of the Spaz 12 comes from its very clanky, lots of like tinny, sort of rattly parts in it. And the 870 just isn't that. It's a little bit more organic. It has a lot more polished surfaces, lot less things interacting with itself. So it's very difficult to replicate the sound of it, but I was aware of it. So it still sounds like a shotgun because it is a shotgun. But the action will never sound like another action because that's just not how it was made. Like, if I took a Spaz 12 and flipped it upside down, it wouldn't sound like the Halo shotgun because it would never be what the Halo shotgun sounded like.
So you're telling me that there's
the Halo shotgun.
So you're telling me that there's no place in that trigger linkage for you to put a little ting sound effect?
That's the advanced model. You have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, just a ting.
That'd be epic.
Just a little ting sound effect.
Ding. Sorry, my dear fiance is messaging me. I'm just gonna tell her that I'm in the interview. So.
That's all right. I'm gonna ask a question to Brad and say, Brad, how did you discover this shotgun?
Yeah, so much like probably anybody else that has seen this shotgun before the YouTube video. So Nathan has a YouTube channel of his own, and he actually posted a couple shorts of him shooting it, and somehow I stumbled upon. I don't watch YouTube Shorts very often, but somehow like it just plooped up on my feed, and I saw you shooting it into that test container, Nathan. You know what I'm talking about?
That was at school actually.
Yeah, so that was just very, very cool. And then I clicked on your YouTube channel, watched your main video about it, and then tried so hard to find your Instagram because you didn't make it easy. You didn't make it easy for me, Nathan. So I'm like, Nathan Frisque, Adjupica or whatever, 117. The heck do you say that? And he's like, what is his name? I'm trying to find this guy. I ended up finding you, thankfully, but it took like hours to figure it out. But I found you, DM'd you, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I tried to tweet you yesterday. I guess you don't have Twitter.
No, he doesn't.
I'm in the Stone Age over here. I don't have Twitter at all.
How are people gonna buy these guns then?
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, so that's actually a good question that a lot of people have been asking. The answer is, where do I buy this gun? Is you can't yet. It's a prototype, and there's so much better that can be done for a top-loading shotgun that looks like a Halo shotgun. So it's gonna be a lot of time, or it's gonna be a lot of money, whichever one you're able to afford. Because right now, for me to make this for someone, that work has to feed me and my family, and it has to make money for the shop that I'm in. It has to make money for everyone else involved. So that's a hard sell for someone who just wants a pump action shotgun. When pump action shotguns right now are available for like a couple $100. So.
Well, Nathan, I mean, we could just come to your house and steal it from you, right?
That's true. That is true. You could come steal it. However,
You
I will
forget.
have a shotgun. So
Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Going to someone's house to steal a firearm, that's definitely going to be pointed at them.
yeah. There's
So,
some people that are like thinking shotguns be 2K, and that's true, but this would be like even more than that, and it would not be great.
But it will look the part and it will function, and that's what probably a lot of people want. I mean, I know that's like the feeling of shooting that thing and looking down those green sights, Nathan. Like you made something so cool. I kind of took out I took out half of my reaction of shooting it for the first time because it was like kind of embarrassing. Because I was like literally laughing like a schoolgirl, and there was one point where it sounded like I was about to start crying, and so I was just like, yeah, not a good look for me. So I took that part out, but it really it felt like I was doing something that I've done before. You know what I mean?
Your reaction to the shotgun being used was truly refreshing to me because I was under actually a whole lot of stress coming into this.
Yeah,
Like I was really, really scared. I was happy and like my joy was well above that, but like right when I handed you a loaded gun and you were like, "Let's do it," and like, and like I'm like, yeah, I hope he likes it because like you could have shot him and like, oh well, it didn't like make me feel like a Spartan. You're a loser. Get out of here. And I'm like, oh, and like I had to go home. So,
actually, so I'm interested about your experience with that. So like getting reached out and like having made the gun and wanting to bring that out and kind of showed off what's going through your head. What were your fears? What were your hopes? What were your dreams?
So I remember when he contacted me, I was like, okay, so there at that point had been a couple people that had contacted me about the gun. And he was the first one that was like, okay, let's do it. Like, let's actually get you. It wasn't just like, hey, we'll contact you in like 8 months and see if we think about you again, like whatever sort of thing. He was like, dude, let's do this like tomorrow. And I was like, all right. And then I tried to have my boss involved, and ultimately the best solution was just handling it myself, coming out there, and getting it done. And honestly, I think that Brad, you were amazing in terms of coordination and patience. Like honestly, like you get like big claps all the way around for your ability to host the video, the shoots and everything. Like went off without a hitch. In terms of overall performance, and I would be glad to work with you guys again if I had something worth bringing again. So hopefully that'll be a thing soon.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, that's nice to hear. I mean, it's the feeling's mutual, Some things go wrong, but that's just a part of making videos. Like really, like none of this is really scripted, hardcore. We're just kind of following the process of what happens, and we're making stories out of those things. So I know there's a lot of stress that was associated with your gun malfunctioning and fixing it and all of that, but we're over here having like the time of our life. So just want you to know, like we were having a lot of fun with your gun, and it was a really good time having you out.
It was kind of funny because upon looking back, I realized that you guys were having a good time. It was going well for you guys. But like as a gunsmith, I'm just there like God dang it! Like how do I fix this? Okay, the trigger thing. I need this and that, and like I'm just there like I was on that table turning that wrench like it was like the most important thing I had done in my entire life. And like y'all are just there like giggling like, "Ha, let's get hot dogs," or like whatever. Like I think someone was like, "Oh, who's hungry?" Like I'm there like thinking about food is so far away from my mind right now, and y'all are just having a good old time and like, oh, does someone need to hold it for you? And I'm like, yes, please. Like, oh goodness, like so, yeah. That was a lot of stress. Sorry, that was a lot of words too. So
no, you're good, man.
No, that's perfect. That's you put it into words perfectly.
A big part of our video at the end was almost starting a horrific forest fire. I assume, hopefully everybody's seen it because I don't want to spoil it, but how did all of that happen through your lens? Like, maybe not like how did that happen, but what was that experience like for you? Like storming the berm, like what is that?
I was kind of like, I saw the shot kind of go off, and I was like, oh no, we got a little bit of fire. Let's go stomp it out. And then like someone was over the hill, and they're like, it's over the hill. And I was like, okay, so there's a little over there. And like so like every time I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It kept getting worse. And like there was a barbed wire fence, and I froze at the barbed wire fence, and I was like, oh crap, how do I get over this thing? And like freaking Brad, you like jumped over it, like, let's go, and you were like all about it, and I'm like, wow, these guys quick response. So I actually didn't want to scrape my my jewels over the fence, so I crawled under it. But you guys were so on top of it. Meanwhile, I was just like, what's happening? Like, oh gosh, it just getting worse.
Dude, it's like team
Most
effort.
terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, in a situation like that, you have to act, or else something bad happens.
Kudos to Brad because, Gal, I don't know if you've ever experienced like a grass fire. The only other time I've experienced one of those is coincidentally with Brad as well, when we blew up the Bo-Katan helmet. And we had a leaf fuse, and fire just started emanating in like this giant circle. And we were like, oh, no big deal. That's when I was like, no big deal, whatever, it's gonna be fine. But it spread so wide. So when we saw, I don't know, there was at least 3 or 4 on the one side that I was on, and then I assume, up and over. But all I see, because I'm looking through the lens, is Brad's camera go down to the ground and him just sprint off with the Brad sprint.
Yeah.
And the hair going everywhere. And I'm like,
like this.
Oh my gosh.
Brad may not have a fire extinguisher. Brad may not have a shovel to stamp out the fires, but by God, he's there, and he's going to be using his feet to put out those fires.
Even Chief was putting out fires.
Yeah.
Even Chief was putting out fires. And I'm like, Chief, you're gonna burn up. You're gonna catch on fire.
Yeah, dude. Oh boy. Careful.
I want to address, where is it? I just saw it. It was someone who said something someone said something to the effect of, this is what happens when you can't handle a shotgun. I wouldn't say that was the case, because we did everything, as safely as we understood it to be done. So I don't think anyone did anything unsafe. I don't think anyone mishandled the weapon. Like obviously Chief stood there, and I went up, grabbed the gun from him, cleared it, and then the fire was taken care of. So I don't think there was any lack of responsibility or like failures of character in any way, shape, or form.
No, there wasn't. And we were lucky too. The people that run the range were very gracious, and they were also. I mean, we were already over the hill by the time they came up, but they were right. If we wouldn't have, they would have put it out. They would have put it out very quickly after we did. If we wouldn't have jumped. So it would have been okay.
Imagine how much bigger and how much worse it would have been if you weren't over that fence 30 seconds faster or slower. Like that thing. Fire grows exponentially fast, it could have gone from like being like a, oh wow, that was pretty dangerous, but we got it handled, to oh no, and like the tree that was near the fire could have gotten up. And
that's the crazy one.
Impact...
That was yours, Brian, right? That was yours. That was the one you were stomping out.
Yeah, it was right by the tree there.
That one was the worst. That one, and then there was some in brush.
So there was one. So the ones I initially got to weren't too big. They were like a foot across. And then, someone ran by with a fire extinguisher. And I was like, okay, do I stay here? Because there's a little bit of fire left on. Or do I go to that next one, which is getting kind of big now? So you make those decisions. And then I go over the hill. And then there's that big one. And I get someone throws a new extinguisher to me. And I've never actually used a fire extinguisher before. So I'm like, I know you're supposed to pull a pin or something like a grenade. And I just reach on the tablet and I'm just like, I don't even know. I'm just like, rip it off. And then I go to spray it and nothing comes out of it. It was like dead or it was broken or it was empty or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so in the video, we showed Michelle bringing one fire extinguisher. We actually had 3 of them. And 2 of them were brand new. One was has been around for a while, and that was the one I guess that you got, Ryan, is the one that would have been around for a while. Yeah. So
Get the done.
so we ended up being able to put everything out with 2 fire extinguishers. I think, right? They didn't throw those guys up top. Didn't throw anything else down, did they?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
I think they showed up with one in the cart, but like by that time it was already handled. So,
Yeah.
someone said orc with no base. He's actually a new person apparently. What was the closest call, or what was the closest call with someone being endangered by the fire? Sorry, I misread that. I'm a 12-year-old apparently. I don't think anyone was ever in danger. Actually, I think it was more so just like the danger of the environment. Like we were just like, oh no, like let's go like prevent bad things. So yeah.
Yeah, as far as like the gun safety, we were good on that. The fire safety, as far as bodily injury, we were good on that too. Like nobody, I was not ever afraid that I personally, with my physical self, was going to be hurt. I was afraid that we were going to show up on the news because we just started a massive fire.
Yeah.
And that would have been not fun at all.
No.
I mean, obviously there probably would have been property consequences, and who knows what would have happened. So definitely getting more fire extinguishers. Not playing with Dragon's Breath anymore.
No.
There's probably no good way to spin that. You're like, hey, we were at a range shooting Dragon's Breath into dry grass, and it ricocheted and went well outside of our control. Anyways, we're not responsible for this. Yeah, they would be like, no. You guys are gonna endure some pain for this. So.
Yeah, if I had to choose one though, I would say it was I would say it was Chief being so aggressive in putting out the fires as well because of the materials that Chief is made of, being afraid for that. But
yeah,
that was it.
Agreed.
And even that wasn't like awful.
No, yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, guys,
nobody
it's not fun to breathe. It's not fun to breathe the fire extinguisher stuff. We were coughing for a good couple minutes after. Some of us
was coughing for 2 days after.
Yeah, I didn't have the fire extinguisher, so I was mostly okay. My pants are very dusty though.
Blaze is asking a question. When testing a new gun, how scary is it initially? And I feel like this is a multifaceted question for everyone here from a different way of thinking about it. Brad, do you want to say your opinion of firing it for the first time? Ryan, your time, and then I can give mine since mine that'd be like the chronology backwards from it being new gun.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I never really had a fear really of it not working. You know, we let you shoot it first, just because you're the creator. And if anything happens, no, but so you shot it first, and I guess there was a little bit of worry on the backside because you hadn't shot it in like 3 months, and so who knows what could have happened. But
plot twist shows up, no bang, no video.
Pull a warthog. Well, there'd still be a video. Don't get it wrong. We'd just be out there like butt stalking stuff. There'd be a video.
The sword bayonet would be a thing.
Yeah, that would be the whole thing. But yeah, no, it was just there was not really a fear for me of will this go bang? Is this a new firearm? Because it's been tested before. So yeah.
So for me to answer Blaze's question, testing a new gun, the only way I can answer it is basically the same way: firing a gun for the first time that's never been tested. I would say we've never done this before, and it's true. We've never tested a gun before, but we did test a rocket launch before, and that was kind of a similar experience for me, where it was like, this is a homemade thing with the most powerful rocket you can get, and we're wearing like fire retardant stuff on our necks and everything, because when those rockets are going, they're like leaving right by your face and they're blowing all the heat and all the crap back at you. So we had no idea what that was going to be like. So definitely let him shoot it first. I think we actually had a serious discussion about that. Like, hey, let's let them do it first, because
hey, you go.
Yeah, you go first.
Whoever made it be shooting it first. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Blaze has a really good point, Brad. You've done this another time with the brute shot. So you've shot the brute shot for the first time.
Oh yeah.
That could actually hurt you too. That's actually arguably more dangerous than my shotgun because I didn't modify the barrel or receiver. Whereas yours, if it got stuck, that thing would have blown up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was encased in resin, so and PVC also. So
I think that just makes it a sharp, like a frag grenade, dude, in your hand.
Yeah, that makes when you add more density to something, but it still breaks the density measure, like the little video that was just posted of the 50 cal exploding, that makes it worse. Like, so you saying, "Oh, it's nice and strong." If it's not strong enough, it's actually
the
that
base
much
is what I'm
worse.
talking about. The base to propel,
Oh, okay.
Dude.
Oh,
because there's
well,
no
I mean,
like, yeah,
Hey,
because there's a fire. It's a mortar, right? It's just a mortar, so it's just some yeah. And so I basically beefed up a mortar tube and put it in there, and
that's true
let it
because
go.
the actual explosion part of it would have happened after the fuse and like the launchy part of it. So if that hadn't,
so
It's like you
it was like, oh my god, and
right.
then thrown it
So it's
away,
like you
right? So
reinforcing, you putting something on top of that shotgun barrel just in case. You know, that's like because I used something that was made for that anyway. So I mean, yeah, scary also, but also a lot more fun because fireworks.
so Nathan, now you can answer that question.
Yeah.
You know, what's it like to test a gun for the first time? And I want to add to that, how do you prevent it from becoming that GIF that we see right there?
Yeah, please.
well, so there are a lot of things that come into what makes a gun safe, and how to modify a gun and still be safe. So obviously, the word that comes to mind is headspace. If the space between the bolt, the barrel, and the lockup are within spec for the cartridge, and there's no extra room for the cartridge to move around in, then headspace is achieved, and the pressure zone is contained within the chamber area. So
Okay, so for a
with this
stupid
shotgun,
person like me, does
oh,
that mean like I've got a barrel and I've got the case and they fit so snugly that any gas explosion will send the bullet forward? Is that what we're talking
yes,
about?
in a
Okay.
manner of speaking, but it's more so like because obviously if your barrel's too loose, it'll just not work. It'll just explode immediately. But it's more so like the distance from the bolt to the forward stopping point of the cartridge, so that it turns into basically a cup instead of a cylinder with a loose thing behind it. It's the seal of the.
Mm,
That's why casings are usually
okay.
brass, so they expand and they create that like sort of like filled zone. They expand to the barrel, and the cartridge then creates that safe pressure capsule for everything to go forward instead of back.
These
You okay with
memes are
that?
making these gifs are
I'm
making me
just looking
laugh
at the
so
memes
hard.
while you're
Dude, I just can't.
I'm
I'm just dying over here.
Checking if the gun is loaded. Oh no! Jeez.
So my dad has been one of these people before. He was shooting, I don't know, some kind of sniper rifle as we were getting ready to go, or rifle as we were getting ready to go hunting. And he pulls it up and we had been shooting it on a table, like in a mount. So we're used to zero recoil basically. He
Right.
pulls it up and he gets his eye right there and he's looking through the thing. Bang! And then he just has a big old busted eye and a circle right here.
Yeah. Well, oh, but I didn't quite finish my thought. With headspace,
Sorry, go ahead.
basically, if that measurement is okay, and you haven't messed with anything in terms of like the hardening of the barrel or receiver, then there's really not a whole lot of risk. More so, it's just disappointment at that point, where if the trigger doesn't work, then you're just like, great, now I got to clear a loaded gun, and you're like, fine, I got to push the button here, and then so it's not as much scary as it is disappointing, depending on how much of a new gun you're making. Like if you put a barrel on a bolt action rifle and you do everything properly and you check headspace and it's fine, that first round is a little like, ooh, what's gonna happen? But like if you did everything right, there's really no risk. Like it's not scary, it's not dangerous. It's only dangerous if you do it wrong. And if you do it right, then there's nothing wrong, and you really just don't have anything to worry about at all.
Do you stand there and hold
Right.
it, or do you have a machine and you just like pull the trigger from a distance?
It depends on the risk. For instance, like Brandon Herrera is making the AK-50, and he's been pulling his with a rope because he really is making a new gun. He really is making a bolt. He really is making a receiver. He really is making a barrel. And all of those
Do you need
things
like
are
licenses for that?
yes. So you would have to be an FFL SO7 or a 07 Type 2 to manufacture a firearm like that. So that's why I didn't manufacture this receiver. I didn't make my own gun because I'm not an FFL. I'm just a me. So, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think Blaze wants one of his questions answered, but I don't know if we're inclined to do so. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
You can read the question.
What's your opinion of ghost guns?
I don't care if you answer it, Brad. What do you think?
I don't know what a ghost gun is.
A ghost gun is a non-serialized, self-produced firearm. Or the term is ghost gun, but it's literally just a firearm that you make at home.
Like a 3D printed gun?
I have no opinion.
Yeah, a 3D printed gun would definitely qualify. It's perfectly legal, so I would say that you have legal ability to make a firearm at home, and if you consider that a ghost gun, then okay. I wouldn't advocate anyone to do anything that could potentially harm themselves or get them in trouble, so my opinion is null and void. I'm a gunsmith who works on real guns and modifies real guns. I don't dabble in fiction, so ghosts are fiction, and that's my opinion of that. Unfortunately, for this,
I love your way with words.
Let's let the gun making be for the professionals. I think that's my humble opinion.
Yeah.
I'll just pull the trigger.
He understands our answer, and I'm glad that we were able to be on the same page with that, because obviously firearms are a very contentious thing within our world now. Like, it's a political thing more than it is like a thing. So, you know, that's actually a question I have for you guys. Like, what really made you guys feel comfortable with actually having a gunsmith or someone from the gun community, besides just like a gun shop or a machine gun shop, where that's kind of their shtick, is letting people shoot their guns? Like, I'm actually a part of the second circle, so to speak, of that world. You know, like, did that ever be a conversation for you guys? Were you ever like, do we really want to have someone who works for a gun shop come in to our channel?
I just thought your name was cool, so.
Fair enough.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it was just some guy who made the really cool gun and we wanted to shoot it. I think that was kind of what it was at the end of the day, you know?
I think I can respect a boring answer, but I think it's right. Yeah.
I didn't want it to be more than that, because I've realized that a lot of people feel that way, but it's nice to know that there are still some people who can live within a realm of decency. So,
what led you to like guns, or like to want them to be? I mean, I know you had your experience with them, but was there anything that stuck out as like, this was the experience I had, this is why I really liked it, and I like building guns instead of catapults because X?
Oh, like specifically firearms. So my mother has a story that she likes to tell, where apparently she was very anti-gun, and she tried to have me not be around firearms, despite my father being in the military. And apparently one day she made me a sandwich and cut it into a triangle, and apparently I took a bite out of it, put my finger in the bite groove, and held it like a gun, and went bang, bang, bang at like 4 years old. So. Yeah.
So you were just born for it.
I think I was. My dad isn't really into guns. My fiance is not really into guns. I've never really had like a strong like gun influence. Like, I didn't have an uncle that took me to the range. Like, I just like grew up going like, I love guns. So
I have a similar story that's like that too. Yeah.
What is that? It's a hockey.
This is the thing that makes my chair go up and down.
Oh, you had something break too?
But it looks like a gun.
Oh, I thought you just broke something like my helmet.
No. What's your story, Brett?
No, it's like the same thing. My parents or my mom was super against like buying like Nerf guns or little toy like cap guns or something, and so we would just find things and make them guns. and then she was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna, you can have some cap guns to play with or whatever.
Yep.
And then now I love guns, which is why I'm so happy that we get to play with guns and on our channel.
No, I think guns are really cool, because like when they're taken at face value, they can be a really lovely thing to bond over with friends, family, or otherwise. Like you could meet a total stranger at the gun range and go, "Oh, is that a Smith & Wesson M&P?" And they'd be like, "It is," and you'd be like, "Oh, that's really cool. I thought about getting one." And then boom, you have a conversation. That conversation can lead to a friendship. That friendship can lead to whatever you want, and you can start it with literally just being like, "Neat pistol." So like, yeah. Like you guys said, like, you guys like a neat shotgun, and here we are now talking about all sorts of things.
Agreed. Well, hey, what's next for you, Nathan?
What's next is working at the Rock Guns in Fayetteville, doing my best to improve people's personal firearms, and occasionally entertaining Halo projects, because I don't want this to go away. I don't want this to be the only one that I ever get to work on. I don't want this to be the end of the story. So, I mean, ultimately, I actually do want to get this into production in a more sensible manner. I want to do my own receiver. I want to do my own manufacturing, which I can do with the shop that I'm at. It's just going to take time and a lot of it. So,
yeah,
pretty standard stuff for me.
Do you have your eyes on any non-Halo weapons that you're considering as well?
Yeah, actually, I've been thinking about doing some of the guns from like Star Trek and Star Wars, because a lot of those guns are actually real guns that have basically shit glued to them. So, you know, it's always like when the gun is already made, it makes it that much easier to do, because you're not basically having to reinvent the wheel.
Gotcha.
That's true. Well, I'm excited. I want to make one too. I want to make something.
Are there any last? Yeah. Are there any final questions from anybody before we wrap this thing up? Were you happy with the response from the video?
Someone asked if we were team red or blue, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I'm a red guy for sure.
Well, obviously you're Sarge. You're like the Sarge IRL. Like, forget the ODST helmet. You need a red. Helmet.
Yeah, you need a red chief helmet, don't you?
I'm apparently caboose. I don't understand that, but okay.
Well, if I was on red team, then I would be on Lester's team, and I think that's a no for me.
So you're blue as well. All right, we're blues.
Yeah, cool. I guess that's a great question, Ryan. Like, so Nathan, what were you expecting on like the performance of our video? Like, what do you think about it? I mean, how's it?
I like watching the video myself. I think I'd say 100,000 of those views are just me watching it over and over on repeat. No, like I think my favorite part of it all is I get to read comments about something that I got to hang out with you guys on and work on, and something that took a lot of work, and something that it hasn't been done before. So there's a lot of really unique feelings and perspectives to be observed, and I think my favorite part of it all is literally just seeing people write something about it. Take the time out of their day to go in the comment section, type up something, and then press send. Even if it's derogatory, even if it's positive, it's someone that went down there and voiced their opinion about it, and I think that's really special, at least from my perspective, because I've never had thousands of people give me their opinion on something before.
Do you have any plans for your YouTube channel? Which is, by the way, guys, it's in the chat over there. So if you haven't already, you can go give him a little subscription. Tell him Impact Prop sent you.
I don't know if I'm going to do a whole lot with my YouTube, because I've seen what it takes to be successful in it, and I just don't have the time or capability. But like, I really like being available to people that like my stuff. So it'd be nice to stay in that lower bracket of YouTube, where someone can email me and they'll get a response. Someone can like text me potentially if they get that far, and I can give them detailed responses. I can give them some real time, more so than like I would never be the kind of person to quit my job and do this. Like someone said, would you ever consider being a freelancer? And like, sure, I would love to quit my job and make Halo guns. Where's the mills? Where's the lathes? Where's the CNC? Where's the degrees that I need? Where's the training that I need? The experience? Like, I'm 24 years old. I can't quit my job tomorrow. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I love it, even when they're just explaining what you're making. So if you have any updates, put them there. Or if you want to share your Instagram or link it on your YouTube so people can find you.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear more about what you're building in the future. And I'm sure we're going to talk about these guys. Maybe they might want to know some more too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to be like the person, I'm not going to be like, all right, guys, this month's videos. I'm not going to do interesting stuff every month. Some months it's going to be my marriage with my fiance. Some months it's going to be me, focusing on taking care of my sick dog. So everyone has to do those things, but I don't know. I'm just not a YouTuber. It's just how it is.
Well, you can be in our YouTube videos, man.
I will happily be a member of this Discord and happily enjoy the stuff you guys make and happily provide any assistance that I can possibly offer.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe a little tease. Nathan's already providing me with a lot of assistance on a future project. So nothing to report right now, but excitement, I am pretty sure.
There's definitely nothing going on regarding things chambered in calibers greater than 22. What do you mean? There's nothing. Of
course not. Why would we be talking about those type of things? Well, thanks, Nathan.
People are posting all sorts of funny videos about guns and stuff now. I think this chat has dilapidated into memes.
It happens.
This is why I have them disabled in the general chat because of this. But it's really fun right here. I like it.
It is. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on here and kind of talking a little bit more about your gun in ways we probably couldn't really talk about them on the YouTubes. But yeah, dude, it's been an honor to make a video with you. It was an honor that last day to hang out with you for a whole day and get to know you more. And hopefully this is only the start.
Yeah. I'm always available for making weird guns if it's possible. I've got carbon all over my fingers already from touching the darn gun. I haven't cleaned it since I got back. I've just fixed stuff on it.
Nice. Well, good. You got to keep it on there as it's memories.
Oh yeah. I'm literally never cleaning the muzzle device because of the flashbang just whitening the entire outside of it.
Dude, you need to get a bunch of those for when you shoot it again. Like, there's no point in shooting anything else other than those things. Like, really, they look so cool.
I know we're basically signing off here, but I'll just say that, guys. I've shot a lot of guns, a lot of really big guns. The flashbang around itself is just incredible. Boom! The feeling is like thud. Like you just hear it and you feel it in your chest. It's amazing.
It was so bassy, like impact props. Like it was like literally impactful, like great. Like those went off and I immediate smile, just like 0 to 100 and like I was full tank, full charge, ready to have a good day. Like those things were so awesome.
Yeah, dude. Too bad we did that at the very end.
No. I think
at least we did it before.
I only had 5 of them. Yeah, like holy crap! I should have bought like 30 of those things.
The pacing for the day though was really fun. I wouldn't change anything honestly because all of it kind of worked really fun. I mean, if I could change one thing, I'd say we could have potentially shoved the muzzle of it in a watermelon and watched it go everywhere, but that would have just been messy. And at that point, we were already taking a lot of risks. So if we were going to do that, we would have done it after the Dragon's Breath. And at that point, we were like, all right, let's call it good.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna,
we're not gonna pull a Chris Rollins and push it and then actually wreck after we've avoided it. So,
oh my gosh, that dude's videos are insane, and I had never heard of him before talking to you guys.
Oh,
yeah,
they are insane.
He's a cool guy,
and they're exploding too, which is makes me so happy. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up, guys. This was awesome. If you guys want like more of this kind of thing, in the Discord, this is the kind of experience that maybe you can expect more in the members. I try to hop on every couple times a week and just hang out, just like this. So just maybe just an example of what you can expect up there. Thank you guys for being a part of this Discord. Really appreciate y'all's insight into the upcoming projects that we're making. Yeah, talk to you guys later.
Goodbye. Stay impactful, you impact prop people.
Impact Pros, Impact Team. We got to figure out what you guys are called.
Right there. I'll buy that hoodie. I'll buy that hoodie. Stay impactful. That's pretty cool, man. I actually dig that a lot. Hell yeah.
Impactful. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time. New merch. We'll see. Oh, how do I end it? Disconnect to end. No, just disconnect quietly. Disconnect and end.